Hello, we're Sarah Ness and Joffrey Crumb.
Reporting here from the epicenter of COVID-19 in Wuhan, China.
Can we re-record?
Today we're here to talk about your living rooms, where all of you have been damned to spend your lives.
And more specifically, the living room, which is the event that we're still putting on in a couple of weeks, which is basically meant to be the same as your living rooms used to be, and now are probably not, a place for people to interact and have conversations and figure out the projects that matter to us, what we're doing in the world.
I like to think of it as walking into my living room only full of strangers that should be my best friends. Like a house party that someone else is throwing for you.
Over Zoom.
And we're the somebody.
But all that being said, we wanted to make this video to explain a little bit about the living room and what it is, especially now that we've changed formats to online, like everybody else. When we ideated this project and ran it last year, the intention was to bring together people in this field that's been around for a long time but never really had a name, which we're now calling the Society for Social Health and Wellness, or the field of social health and wellness. It's basically connection work. How do we form really good connections with each other, spaces where all forms of expression are welcome and we can grow and thrive as human beings? And the leaders of that, of the different practices like authentic relating, circling, forms of dance, nonviolent communication, there's been no place for us to gather and share ideas, share resources, and we wanted to create that space. And we did it successfully last year and wanted to repeat it, and now we get to experiment with the format and create something that can be ongoing useful.
Like the bootstrap story that so much of us were sold about creating our own businesses and our own communities from the ground up, out of our garages and workshops and workspaces, on our own in isolation, we're finding that the field of social well-being has actually been architected by disparate individuals around the world. And oftentimes the practices have been created simultaneously. We are all quite literally inventing the wheel at the same time from different directions and warehouses and workshops that aren't communicating with each other.
Yeah, so this is a conference in itself, part of a larger project to start connecting these leaders and creating this field. And yeah, we're really excited for it. And exhausted and excited.
I think as the entire world is in a space right now where it's forced to look at how it connects to itself, to one another, in small communities and large circles, from corporations and generalized organizations to actual community infrastructure and global interconnectedness. And in that space, we are looking to contemplate the ways that we as a community can connect, share ideas, share resources, and help shore up the missing portions of each other's projects, consult on the missing aspects of each other's communities, and in so doing, perpetuate the practices that all of us work on, and all of us have dedicated our time and are dedicating our lives to discovering and propagating. This is a place for us to have candid conversations about things that otherwise we can't talk about in public, because many of us are thought leaders and community leaders. We haven't had a place to have these discussions. And so the idea is inviting you all to create a home together and step into the living room and begin the conversation.